So sure that you have been following the entire journey of Vikas.
Yeah.
So how do you perceive his journey from the beginning as his brother and also as a viewer?
As his brother, I was more emotionally attached with the entire journey that he has had, and I'm extremely proud today. I was highly disheartened initially. There were moments when I was disappointed with a few people. There were moments when I thought, why is this happening to him? And I always felt that he was the victim, of course. But the way he has risen from it, and the way he has come out as a hero, and he's given me and a lot of other people a lot of hope. So that, I mean, I just love where he is today, and I'm highly motivated by him for my life ahead.
And as a viewer, if you had to perceive his journey as a third person and not as a brother, with certain ups and downs that Vikas has definitely gone through in the show. So how do you perceive it today?
See, I've spoken to someone who didn't know who Vikas was. So initially they didn't think highly of Vikas. They thought that he was a darpok, and he ran away. But eventually when they connected with him, and the way they saw his journey, even they, in fact, they love him more than I do right now. They have fallen in love with the person he is, and the way he has played the game, the way he's bounced back. I think as a viewer, I would say that he has had an amazing journey. He could have reacted better initially, and he could have been a little more stronger. That's what I would say. Right now, he's just doing perfect.
Okay. So, in the entire tenure of his Bigg Boss journey, initially we saw him being traumatized and dealing with so many situations all together, all alone, with due respect to Shilpa's antics as well. So as a viewer and as a brother, as his own family, how did you take it outside?
Well, we were initially just confused because I'm quite close to Vikas, and we speak about most of the things that are going around. And I had known about Shilpa Shinde leaving the show, and when he was the channel head, and he was not happy about it because this was happening and it was one of the best shows. For the whole thing to turn around and come on him, I was highly disappointed. तो खैर उस पार्ट से तो मैं बिल्कुल इत्तेफाक नहीं रखता जो पहले 5 हफ्ते में हुआ. It was for the game or whatever it was for. It was I did not appreciate it, and I was highly disappointed with whatever happened. But I think he is too strong and he's too intelligent to let that affect his game. That only made him stronger. Those first 5 weeks, I think, prepared him for the rest of the journey. And yeah, my family was really sad at that time, to be very honest. It's not a pleasant view to see your brother crying on national television, being defamed on the basis of everything, his work ethic, his sexuality, whatever. It was, and for God's sakes, even his looks. I think he looks great. He's got a great personality, and so it was quite disheartening, those low moments. But the happy moments are, of course, crazy again. And I'm glad that people love him. I'm glad people can relate to him. I'm glad that people give him so much of respect. Because of him, I get a lot of respect today. So I can't be more thankful to the Almighty for all this to happen. And it's just a part of an experience right now.
Absolutely. So also talking about the times when Vikas was being termed to be a casting couch and all the defaming words that were used against him for him. As a viewer, how did you take it when somebody was alleging your own brother of such things?
See, as a viewer, I wouldn't know. I would believe maybe because it was so much of conviction. But as a brother, I know him. And I will tell you how such false claim might not affect others, but it would affect him more because for first, you also know, I think everyone in the media knows, that he's a self-made man. He was 17 years old when he came to the city, and that boy has slogged his ass. He was an associate, creative head, then became a producer, headed 2 channels within a 10-year span. And someone to attack his work, it's highly disheartening. I think that was also one of the reasons why he tried to run away at that time. Because he was thinking that this was the wrong decision. He had everything, and I was the one who pushed him to go. So I was on this major guilt trip for the longest time, till he came out of it, and then he came out as a winner. And about everything that he was attacked on, I was really angry, and I was really frustrated. That is very humanly to happen when things like this is happening to your brother. But majorly I was more angry about the fact that he was getting discredited for the hard work he has put throughout his life, and he was losing it all away. That's what I felt that time. But now I know people know better, people know him more, and they would know that it's all false and there is no truth in it. And that boy is gifted.
Absolutely. So, as you said that the claims that been made against Vikas were not true and all of it, but and as a family, you were definitely distorted when you and your mom
Definitely, yeah.
saw Vikas crying on screen majorly because of Shilpa in the initial days. But when Vikas's mother had come on board on TV for the task, she was seen being extremely warm and affectionate, and she had said that she is in love with Shilpa. So, what was it?
See, I'll tell you what. They are people who have lived their life. We are more, we are less mature, so as to say. We are more angry at smaller things. I'm not getting the right word for it that I could tell you. But I think they've lived it all. They're more forgiving. And I think she was more affected than anyone else. And as far as I know of my mother, she would not let it affect. She's more forgiving. She'll move ahead. She felt that probably now all that phase is over, and now this girl is over all of that. So maybe she was a little more forgiving there. And also we all like her. See, the point is we like her. She's great in the game. The only problem we had was her point of view towards my brother. And when people think that I'm attacking her or I'm passing comments, I'm trying to expose her, it is trying to defend my brother, not to attack her. I think she is there in the Final Four for a reason, because she deserves it. No one can, everything happens for a reason, right? So no one can obviously attack or defame someone. But they tried to do it initially with my brother. But anyway, I didn't try that. I tried to defend my brother at every point in corner. And I think my mother is just a mature person. She would not take that on national television, of course. And also she said that this girl makes food for everyone. She was happy for that also. So she has a lot of respect for her. But I really don't think she appreciates what she did to Vikas. I think she was just being a bigger person there.
Okay. The entire the first half of Bigg Boss, if I can say, Vikas's agony aunt was definitely Priyank, his best friend, initially, right?
Yeah.
But towards the end, we saw a lot of fluctuations happening in their bond, in their apparent strong bond. So when we saw the Vikas,
why do you call it apparent strong bond?
Because that's what the viewers call it to be.
Yeah.
So when Vikas wanted him to support him, it didn't happen, and vice versa. There was certain distance being seen in their relationship. So what do you have to say about it?
Well, it's a game, and when you go inside, there are different things happening. From people who have visited the house and I've met them, they said it's got a eerie feeling and people tend to behave differently from what they are normally. So it can get to the best of us, I think. So it got to their relationship. When he went back, probably he relied more on Hina at that time, Hina and love. He felt more loved there, more confident there maybe. But for whatever reasons, it happened. But it's a part and parcel of the game. For me personally, I'm a great friend. I was really a close friend of Priyank. So I was disappointed because I thought he would, tit or tat, he'll just go for Vikas. But that didn't happen. A lot of things were said and done. But I would just let it go because of in the name of the game. I wouldn't hold a grudge. I wouldn't keep it to myself. That being said, I'm disappointed though. But eventually, towards the latter half, I think Vikas and Priyank were together and he supported.
It was said that Vikas couldn't play the game alone, and he always wanted somebody to be with him as to boost his morale and to make him feel more confident. So if you see it in the journey, he had Priyank as his friend, then he turned to Hina, Arshi, Akash, Punish in the entire journey, and as compared to others where they played solo. So it was said by the housemates themselves. So do you really think that Vikas actually needs somebody to, be his...
No, but I will say one thing here. I think you're intelligent enough and since you have also followed the entire season, you exactly know who plays in the group, in the herd, and who plays alone. Him being alone and convincing a nemesis to be on his side is his game. The game started right then. He's already playing alone. He's been cornered. If a Hina can side with him, that means he's playing the best game ever. They've been the nemesis throughout the game. So if you understand, he has always been playing alone. Even Priyank siding with him was first his nemesis. He had convinced with his skills for someone who's not on his side to be on his side. I think his game started from the day he entered inside. And rest everyone has always been in a group. He has even supported and been so loyal to people who have always backstabbed him. Punish, for example, when he gave his word, he stood by it. People who did not have a backbone were Punish, Love. Love gave his word and turned on it. These guys have always been. There hasn't been a stronger bond than Love, Hina and Priyank. Shilpa, Akash, Punish, Bandagi. All these people are always together. Sapna, when initially Sapna was there. Vikas was the only one who did not have the support. These people can say whatever they want to say. But if you are watching it as a legit viewer, you will understand.
He's going to be the mastermind in the game. Is he actually the same in real life as well, like outside the house?
Goes without saying, though, yeah, mastermind is a good word actually. I was going to say, though I don't like the word, but it's a good word. He is a genius. He's always been very intelligent in school, and he's really been creatively inclined. The reason he's been so successful over a short period of time is because of his brains. His career is an example for that.
Definitely. But as I say, having said that he's been termed as the mastermind. On the other hand, he's also been termed to be a crybaby. Like in
okay, I love that. I love that. Okay, crybaby. I don't mind crybaby because everyone's personality is different. Okay, so he's overtly emotional, but that's okay. That is what makes him an artist. That is what makes him a creative. If you're not emotional, you cannot understand everyone's emotions and you cannot relate. That's why he loves cinema, he loves a television show and things like that. I think it just adds on to his work. So he can think beyond a normal person can if he's overtly emotional.
So we'll take some fan comments over here.
Okay.
Surbhi Shrivastava says that seriously in love with his mind. He's a true mastermind and he simply deserves to win VG Rocks.
VG Rocks.
And Shakti Anand says Vikas definitely plays the game alone. And Asha Khan says Vikas, we love you. Maheen says he doesn't need anyone. And so again Shakti Anand says that he wants to see Vikas in the finale. I mean winning the trophy. And
me too
as well.
We have a lot in common.
So coming back to the questions, we have seen his relations fluctuating with Hina a lot. Right? They were good friends, but he has also spoken, like both of them actually have spoken not that great behind their backs as well, each other's backs as well.
That's the same with Shilpa and Vikas also. Everyone in fact in the house, to be very honest. If we come to think of it.
But then they claimed initially to be really good friends, right? Hina and Vikas.
Not really. There was never an establishment in the show where they're showing we are great friends.
So, sorry, Zaiba Khan says that she wants to thank you for, asking Vikas to take part in Bigg Boss.
Yeah, that's all me.
So she also asks that what would have been the scenario if you were inside the Bigg Boss house?
I would be out, I think. I'd be out hitting someone and coming out, to be very honest. I don't think I have the mental strength that my brother possesses.
Himani Piplani asks, how was your bonding with Vikas?
Well, I think you can see that I love him a lot. He loves me a lot.
Dr. Rupsa Das says Vikas is a gem. He's winning the show already, mostly our hearts. And while Ashima Agrawal says that there's one negative point that he plans too much and he doesn't intend to execute it, so he turns terrible at times. So what do you have to say about that? Do you think that Vikas actually plans too much and probably the execution part is not that strong?
I'm trying to think of an incident which has happened like that in the house, where he's planned a lot and it hasn't been executed. Maybe in the BB task, mountain task, he didn't have an ally that time. You need an ally in that because you have someone else's bag. So if it was a solo game, he could have won it, if I come to think of it. But I think majorly he always plans and wins it. Though I think where he falters it, he tells it to people that I did this, so that people can hear it and know that, oh my god, that's what. But everyone obviously automatically knows, he doesn't have to spell it out. But then he also said in MTV Extra Dose, I think, that I do it because I do the tasks for my fans, for the people outside. Not that's why I spell it out and I speak it so that people know it.
Inside the house, Hina, Shilpa, and all. Not Shilpa, but Hina and I think Arshi, everybody had said once that whenever Vikas, the game does not go according to Vikas's will, he probably acts the victim, he plays the victim card. And he will sulk and he will probably feel really low and that way.
I think that is like, okay, there are few answers to this. First, like I told you, he's overtly emotional and expressive. So maybe that is one of his expressions. He's sad. People lose the game, they are sad. Second, it might also be his game.
Okay. If not, we're sure of course you're rooting for Vikas to win the DB trophy.
No, nobody else.
No, I'm saying this, I'm not asking. But just in case if not Vikas, who else would be the person whom would you want to see win the trophy?
Hina Khan.
And why?
I think she's been more involved in the tasks. Though I know personally people don't really like the person she is and the way she's come across in the show. But since I will judge this on the basis of your conviction and the way and the aggression you have played the tasks and the will to win it, I think Hina, besides knowing that there's a guarantee of her staying in the show since she's an actress, she still gave it all. That is one of my major reasons why I think she should win it, if not Vikas.
Okay, and if I may ask, why not Punish or Shilpa?
See, Punish, I do not agree because I don't think he has had the standing like that. अगर छुपके से जिताना है तो जिता दो. And also he's not been loyal to Vikas. That is one of my major reasons where Vikas has always blindly supported him and Bandagi, and he has always bitched about Vikas and he has oversold himself. And we all know how the world works. I am outside. I know what he does and what he does not. And I feel it was oversold. I did not like the character. Though I love his one-liners, the way he has a very dry humor, which I love. I love the way he plays. If my brother was not there, he would be one of my favorites.
Okay, and why not Shilpa?
Shilpa, because the first 5 weeks, because it was a lie, clearly out there. Since you're also from the media, the news is all out there. Maybe these things happened with her, but Vikas did not have his hands in it. Maybe he was involved in the show, but since he's a channel head, he cannot run away from it. But he does not have a personal vendetta against someone. If you claim that you got banned, or if you claim that he was the one who kicked you out, that was a complete lie. And it was just taken out of proportion and taken advantage of in a show where she was coming. And since controversies work here, she did use that.
Okay, so a fan, Khushi, asks that says that I initially saw Vikas being very strong in the initial phase of Bigg Boss.
True.
Towards the end, it seems that he has had a certain downfall. Do you feel?
Do you feel that?
I can't comment. So do you feel that?
No, I don't think so, yaar. Hardly any people left who to play against, and he's always strong and he's playing in a very, very nice and sorted way right now. Respecting the fans, respecting the rest of the housemates. I think he's always strong. Trust me, if you feel he's down, he's the strongest at that time. I know him inside out.
If you talk about his personal life, a lot of fans and viewers do not know the struggle that's gone behind with being Vikas Gupta that he is today. So do you want to give a slight elaboration on the same?
See, I already spoke a little on it, but I would love to tell you guys that he came to the city when he was 17 and he had no standing. He hardly had any money. That's the story of most of the success stories here. Someone slept on a bench or something. But like he said that I had not had chicken and he went to Sabyasachi's house and all that. Those are all true stories, and he stayed somewhere in Malwani in a chawl and he used to walk a lot. So basically he had gone through a lot of struggle, but he also had a lot of sleepless nights because he was working so hard. He enjoyed his work so much that he used to sleep in the office, wake up. I remember when I used to come meet him once or twice, he had under eyes. He did not take care of himself physically at all. All he did was to work. That's the reason why he rapidly grew. He took risks in life. He opted out of his job securities, he took bigger risks, and that is what paid off. He failed also a few times, but the success stories were good enough to make him progress in life and in his career.
Okay, so we'll quickly take a small rapid fire session
Perfect.
over Big Boss, and you have to answer
Yes or no?
whatever
No. No.
whatever adjectives I put it across. You have to just name one person from the Big Boss of the you
Adjectives.
relate to.
Yeah, पर
As a
मेरे को
viewer,
अच्छा
and not as
मुझे तो
Vikas'
याद भी नहीं
brother.
सरना हाँ.
Not as Vikas's brother.
Okay.
Take the evicted contestants.
Yeah, that is what I was thinking. वो याद करने की
all
कोशिश
of
करो.
them.
हाँ.
So, the most annoying.
अच्छा, it's a rapid fire.
Yeah.
People will expect me to say Akash Dadlani. चलो Akash Dadlani.
The most cunning.
Vikas Gupta.
The mastermind.
Vikas Gupta.
The sweetest.
Arshi Khan.
The smartest.
Vikas Gupta.
As a viewer. Okay.
Okay, let's rewind.
Okay, we get back. We'll do this again. The most annoying.
Akash Dadlani.
The most cunning.
Shilpa Shinde.
The sweetest.
Sweetest, I'm still thinking, yaar. If there was anyone. Hitin Tejwani. Oh,
The most cunning.
Kani you already said. Shilpa Shinde.
The most hilarious.
Arshi Khan.
The crybaby.
Vikas Gupta.
The mastermind.
Vikas Gupta.
So he's best of both.
But actually, Crybaby can also. It's a competition between Hina Khan and Vikas Gupta, to be very honest.
Okay.
The most lovable.
The most lovable.
Most lovable.
Apart from your brother.
Yeah, I am. That's what I'm thinking. Apart from my brother, only I'm thinking right now. Priyank Sharma.
The wittiest. The most witty one.
Punish.
The most diplomatic.
The most diplomatic. Punish.
The one probably who believed in cheap thrills.
Who believes in cheap thrills? I think this is Punish and Akash. They love cheap thrills.
So I think that's pretty much for your rapid fire session.
Okay.
And yes, people are saying, Seema Singh saying Vikas will definitely win. Hema Shetty saying Vikas
तुम्हारे
is
मुंह
the
में घी
best.
शक्कर.
And Jashri saying that you too should take part in the Big Boss. If ever we do, if
No, it's not for me. I think it's not. It's not my place.
There have been rumors that Ekta is behind Vikas ka pura this plot of he will be winning the Big Boss 11. Would you like to clarify on that?
Yeah, of course. So basically, I think by this you are aiming at two people who have a great body of work. One is Vikas and one is Ekta. I, for one, have not spoken to her since Vikas Gupta has gone inside the house. Second, you're discrediting the hard work that Vikas has put into the show. And the people who believe in him, you're discrediting and pretty much defaming him. And also Ekta Kapoor. I don't think he needs that kind of a help right now. And I don't think she would be interested in anything like that in her working career. So please guys, she has not helped Vikas, and I know people who are regularly viewing Big Boss knows that he does not need this help, and she would never be okay with this if it was to happen.
Yeah, any message for Vikas's fans from his end?
See, I have a lot of money. I give a lot of money to a lot of people to go and vote. I'm just kidding. So there were a lot of accusations on me also that I paid money. Apparently the best one was in the mall task. I had taken 2 AC buses and 2 suitcases full of cash, and I had pamphlets in my hands, and I went to Whistling Woods and other colleges and picked up students and distributed pamphlets.
Were you driving also?
No, I was not driving. I was this was a teleportation technique. I was in Dubai and I was suddenly present here also. And this story also been cooked by the same source, by the way, the one who cooked the story of Ekta Di being a part of this. But
What do you want to say about Salman Khan as the host of the show? There have been moments when Hina and others have felt that whenever you speak anything against Shilpa Shinde, he will get upset and he will
Totally
start
biased.
cornering you.
Yeah.
Have you ever felt that while watching the show?
I think he's a great host, and I personally enjoy when he's on screen. And I don't know. I don't think so, to be very honest. And also, I don't even know how it works. If it's actually him there, or it's the creative calls how to go about this. So I really can't. I can only comment as a host. I love him as a host, and I love his films. That's all I would say.
But have you ever felt while watching the show that he was being really?
See, I will. It's a wrong question to ask me, because I will obviously be biased towards my brother. So I will always think anything against him is a bias in the show.
But
That's-
towards any other contestant?
No, I've only noticed with my brother. I always thought it was biased because he's my brother. But I'm the wrong person to ask again. If you ask a third person, that person can say it's being biased or not. Initially, I did think that Shilpa should have been told off for she was stretching it too much. She was doing too much.
So also,
I thought that was too much of bullying. I honestly felt, and that time I had put up a post about bullying, and now I remember it, so I want to speak on it. I thought the reason why he ran off, and bullying is an actual problem and issue in the world. It was total bullying, and bullying one person. There is no age to it. It happens in offices, it happens in schools, it happens in old age home also. And bullying has the worst effects. People even commit suicide because of that. So I think running away was just one of the facets of it, and I thought it was a real problem. It had to be addressed. Well, it was not. Eventually things just sided away and faded away.
Also, as a family member of Vikas, when certain things went out of Vikas's hand and he got a little physical, with, say Akash or Punish, at one time probably the viewers felt that he was let go of a little easily. So what do you have to say, despite where the...
But why do you think he will be let go of that easily?
That's what
Was it because he was giving a lot of good content to the show?
Yes, that's what we want.
we want to know.
From you. What do you think?
See, I personally felt if it was actually in a fight where he had gone ahead and punched someone or something, I felt he should have been thrown out right away, and he broke the rules. Fair enough. But in terms of the Punish thing, it was a reaction, and the way he reacted, probably he felt that aankh phoot gayi hai. And I also felt with the reaction that like something's happened to him. So it was all in a reaction. That's the reason why it was taken under consideration by Bigg Boss. And there was obviously a medical arrangement there, and he was taking care of it. And with the Akash, I think Akash tried to push him 3 times. He just pushed him once. He tripled over something and fell down. I don't really pass it off as a proper violent thing, but if you have to catch someone on it and you just need an excuse to throw someone out, yeah, it would also pass off as being physical.
Okay, yeah, so any message to the fans of Vikas?
Guys, there's not much time left, so please go vote for Vikas if you love Vikas. Make multiple IDs and vote for him, different email IDs, but honestly just go vote for him. And if you really want to see him as a winner, he's really worked hard. He's literally had a journey worth winning, from the downfall to where he's reached, being down and out. And I think he has worked really hard. I think he deserves to win. If you feel the same, please go and vote for him in bulk and make him win.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.